We all know that job interviews can be intimidating sometimes because you may not anticipate the questions the recruiters are going to ask you. Although, there are also those ones you can always expect and prepare yourself for correctly responding to them. Hi everybody, I am Mariana, and that is exactly why we are here today. We want to help prepare you for one of the most frequent and difficult questions that are asked nowadays, which is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hello everyone, I am Joanna and I'm glad we can speak about and clarify this topic today since this question is viewed by so many of you as tough. From the experience that I have in educating and helping candidates applying for jobs, a lot of times has been said to me that you, as job seekers, don't really know what the interviewers expect and want you to respond. The truth about this question is that you tend to get lost.
Let's start by explaining why interviewers ask this question in the first place. Employers use this type of question to know a little bit more about your goals and expectations for your future and how ambitious you are. They also want to know if you see yourself in a long-term position in a company offering value to it, or if you just want to be there for only a year.
In addition, interviewers may want to know if your expectations align with the position that you are applying for, and if you are really interested in being committed to this role you are applying to. Keep in mind that the interviewer is not looking for a precise answer. They are basically asking what your career goals are, which refer to the short and long term goals you've set yourself to achieve professionally.
You should know that this question can be asked in many ways. It can be more discreet, for example, what are your future career goals? What are your future career expectations? Do you have a 5 year plan? What skills would you like to have in your resume in 5 years?
Exactly, Marianas. Definitely keep these examples in mind to make sure you are prepared and do not get caught off guard while being interviewed. While you may not know exactly where you want to be in the next few years, being prepared to answer this question will set you up for success and help you support an overall productive interview. Since we know this is a tough question, we are going to help you answer it successfully and help you along the way so that you don't feel lost.
Remember, no interviewer expects candidates to be able to describe exactly what they'll be doing in 5 years. In fact, a truthful answer about what you hope to be doing can easily sabotage your odds of landing a job offer.
Let's begin with the tips we combined for you. The first one is to reflect on this topic. We want to ask you to think about your medium term and long term goals right now. Have you ever thought about them? Start by reflecting on what brings you joy in terms of your career, as well as what would be those skills you would like to develop.
Start by saying that your immediate goal is to perform excellently in the position offered, and that you hope that you would be able to grow as you prove yourself and as opportunities open up in your organization.
Let's move right along to the second tip we have for you. Find connections between your goals and the job description, and then tailor your answer to the job description.
Another tip is to simply answer the question. Avoid rambling and talking about other topics, for example, your personal and future life. That is certainly not what recruiters are looking for.
We also refer to the importance of acknowledging the benefits you will gather from that job offer in the future.
Another fundamental tip is to show enthusiasm about the things you will be able to learn and allow you to evolve and achieve your career goals, if this is what you really feel and want for your future, of course. The most important thing is to be honest not only with the interviewers and the people that are willing to accept you at the company, but also with yourself.
Without a doubt, do not waste their time or your time and energy on something you don't want, since that is definitely going to have an impact not only on your productivity levels but also on your personal life and well being.
Moving on, is also relevant to mention that if you do not have a structured plan, you might then use the reversal technique to ask the interviewer what kind of career path would be realistic for someone who performs well in this position.
The best way to understand all these tips is by putting them into practice. For this reason, we are going to show you two examples of a potential answer to this question. We assure you that if you use these examples as a guide to make your own, your interview will definitely be a success.
The first example is the skills I would like to have in my resume in 5 years would be to lead a time in the marketing area. I'm also thrilled about looking forward to acquiring marketing knowledge as well as experience in that area to add to my CV, considering that these goals would be an asset to me since I am licensed in business communication.
My 5 year plan would be related to taking a leadership role, and with the experience that I had all these years, being able to become a mentor that can help and guide others. I would be fulfilled to lead a project about something that I truly believe and feel like it's essential to teach others. Finally, I would be happy to help achieve the company's goals, which share the same values as me, through my knowledge and experience.
The next topic is related to those things you have to avoid mentioning when stating your future 5 year plan.
Now that you already understand the steps that you should follow to answer this question, we feel like it is also essential to be aware of those things you should avoid saying when formulating your answer. Knowing what to say is probably as necessary as knowing what not to say. Some types of answers may influence your image in a negative way.
Totally agree that it's important to be aware of what to avoid responding to maintain a competent self image. Follow some of these next tips. The first and very important one to have in mind is to be flexible while stating where you see yourself and avoiding mentioning specific time frames or job titles.
A lot of people also tend to respond that they hadn't considered a 5 year plan yet, which is totally a mistake. We advise you to avoid giving this type of answer since it comes across as a lack of determination and goals on your part.
Besides, keep in mind that hiring managers don't generally enjoy recruiting, hiring, and training new people. It can be a time consuming, difficult, and expensive process. Your interviewer does not want to invest time and effort in someone whom they can tell is not prepared or already planning to leave as soon as something else comes along.
Another mistake that you should avoid is acting like you are overqualified and uninterested in the new role. This shows that you are arrogant and close minded when giving the opportunity to learn something new and acquire experience.
One more common flaw that people often make while responding to this topic is handling the role offer as not important and just describing it as a stepping stone to your goal job in the future. This kind of behavior, as you can imagine, is not well received by the recruiters. Since they are giving you an opportunity to grow, you should show some appreciation.
Being too generic while responding to this question is also a mistake. Finally, don't give answers like, I don't know, or I just want to pay my bills, or even, I want your job to the interviewer. The first two just show a lack of interest and motivation, and the third shows that you are not mature and realistic enough to know that there is a long way and things to learn first to evolve and finally get to the position you want.
We are going to finish our suggestions with some examples of wrong things to say in your interview. Do not mention you want to further your studies in other areas, even if it's true. If you are looking for a job based on your degree you have now, and that is being requested by the recruiter, you are only losing your opportunity to get the role. Related to the above, don't admit to the interviewer that you are seeking to change career paths in the future. Also, don't say you want to start your own business. Again, even if what you are stating is only the truth, you are prejudicing yourself since they are not going to waste their time and money on you if you are just abandoning the company at any time.
To conclude, we want to remind you that it's normal if you don't have your life figured out yet. But we hope that with our tips, you are able to lighten your ideas and feel more confident and motivated about your career path.
Precisely, I also want to add that it's important not to feel intimidated by this question. Always show confidence in your own capacities and skills, but in a humble way. Hope sincerely that now you're ready to successfully take part in your next interview.
Hope you enjoyed being here as much as we did.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening.